Okay, welcome back everyone to another video. Lex Gray here. Well, this is just going to be another simple uh, EZD6 traditional tabletop session. One shot, basically. I'm still practicing this game. Getting used to it for the next arc of my larger Askaber campaign. We have our dice here. It's mainly a D6 system. I have a D100 pair here for Oracle questions. We have a map here, eventual map. We have our character, just one solo character. Whiteboard for encounters. Now, the character in question is half of his details are custom, not from the book, so house ruled, homebrew, I should say. His character name is Barbok Gristlethorn, no relation to Bardock. The custom hero path I chose for him is Scoundrel. He's a human. His two boons for path are Silvertongue Shadow Walker. Silvertongue mainly he's a good quick he's good at quickly witted, and he's very quick on his feet as he can talk his way out of things if he has to. Shadow Walker, he likes to work in the shadows. Stealthy, basically he's a mixture of a rogue and a Han Solo archetype. Now, the two hero paths are dirty tricks. So once per combat, he has a bane on the enemy attack. So it's harder to hit him, basically. So when the enemies attack him, they have a bane they have to deal with. He has another one is contacts, once per session. I can call in a favor, which enables an auto success if he's basically looking for a location or an item, information. He'll have an auto success in that department. Inclinations, these I believe are from the book. Born Blessed, he has 6 karma, which is on this golden die here, so the 6, starting with 6 karma points per session. Checkmate, which is you can intercept foes' movement, free attack from behind. Sticky Fingers, basically pickpocket unnoticed, unless it's a critical fail. And for aspects, basically, I gave him, he's a human lie detector. So think of the character from Lie to Me, by Tim Roth's character. And then he talks to his daggers. So a lot of this is, homebrew and from the book. His equipment, he has a golden dagger, flint and steel short bow with 8 arrows, if we even bother tracking ammo, that is. And a poison antidote. These are mostly from the book. I need to write down his golden dagger for weapons. And then the short bow. His armor is light 2d6, choosing the highest armor. So that's a 5 to avoid a strike. I actually gave him 2 more health compared to what you usually start with. 3. I think the warrior class has, the brute class has a higher health rating. But basically, 5 is the roll he needs to avoid being hit. 5 or higher. I believe it's 6 for a similar class. So if we take a look at, I keep saying class, I mean hero path. Basically, if we go to the hero paths you can choose here, Rascal is what he is most similar to. Because here it says light and quick on your feet, save against wounds on a 6, but you roll 2 dice choosing the boon. So basically, I bumped him down to a 5, just to give him a slightly more higher chance of survival. And that's really it. 1 hero die, which is this old school dotted face D6. So this is actually not a dungeon crawl. This will be our character, him being a scoundrel. So again, kind of a Han Solo-esque character, but mixed with a rogue. He will be exploring a new city, or at least he'll be working, doing a gig, a freelancer, paid to do something in a location, a ground level location. So this will eventually populate to show a vague city, nothing really specific to my existing Escobar campaign. This is entirely a one shot, so I don't know how long this will go. But let's get started. So basically, um, everything I'm going to be thinking, everything will think up will be straight from my noggin. I'll be using the D100 quite often, asking questions. I'm not using any tables. This will strictly be from what you guys see. So the D100 is going to be our storyteller, our oracle, essentially, answering questions as I try to map out and build this view, this location for our character to explore. Now, we need a place to start. So let's figure out if Barbach is going to be starting in a location that is familiar to him. I'm assuming that's a yes. So let's say 75% chance he starts in an area that's familiar to him. That's a yes. So um, talks to his daggers, the human lie detector. He is somewhere where there are other people around, just based on those two aspects I have here. So I'm going to say he is in a tavern, which is obviously a typical start. But what I will do is get a pen so that you guys can see the location better. Because this grid here is the lines are darker compared to like a blue. So I will use a pen to outlaw a location, to outline the location here on the map, if you guys can see it. But basically, we have this tavern. I'll give it some other connecting shapes. Nothing really specific. But basically, this location here will be tavern. Just calling it that. And that is where our character will start. So location 1, just so I have a note if this goes beyond one recording. And we are here in this tavern. And I'm assuming we're here on business. Let's say there's a 60% chance we are here on business. That's a yes. Actually, that's a very strong yes. So 10 or less is a strong yes in my book. 90 or more is a strong no. Anything in between up to the percentage is a yes. Anything above the percentage is a no. So our character currently is in the tavern. Let me get a marker to show if I. Here's our character. Okay, I'm sorry for that about that. Basically, our little metal brass uh, token will be our character here. He's currently in the tavern. Now, he's speaking to somebody, most likely going to be someone who is giving him a job. And he likes to come here at the tavern to get work because that is what he does. He is a freelancer. He's not really employed by anybody on a regular basis. He gets gigs due to his reputation of being a fixer, whether he's gathering intel or he's delivering a package as a courier. Let's figure out what kind of job this is and who is giving him this job. So our Barbach is in the tavern at the moment. I'm not going to go into extreme details on the environment or what's inside, but he's in the tavern, he's at the bar, and he's speaking to a client, a potential client. Now, we're going to be rolling basically the details about this task, this mission for him. Now, the mission we can see, we can ask the Oracle, is it going to be a courier type of mission? Does he have to deliver a package to someone else across the way? I'm going to say 75% chance. 38, that's a yes. So he has to deliver a package to somebody. So the package is going to be a small box, roughly this size. So let's say just about 6 by 6 inches. So it's a perfect size box, 5 by 5 by 5. And the client is going to be someone that I will note here in our on our whiteboard for information regarding any future let's see here. So our quest will be basically deliver package. And a client, deliver package to Mr. Gray. It's not that hard to tell who that is. Mr. Gray, and no relation. And the current client who's paying is a, let's say, a lord. He's meeting with someone who works for a local noble house. So let's say it's the Crimson Hand. That's who's paying for this. And once he completes it, the dollar amount will be, let's say, 500 gold pieces. Currently, our character is not, don't have any wealth valued yet, but we can say currently he's probably just moderate. If he gets this amount, he's able to complete this task without any trouble, he'll probably be bumped up to wealthy, and we can use this character again in the future. So, he's talking to this individual, this messenger, and the messenger isn't giving out much details about the task. At least we know where to go. Let's say it's going to be up here. And this location will be this odd shape with another level to it. I'll put a star here. This is where he has to go. We don't know what it is, but we will now find out. Okay. We can know for a fact that this client is the Crimson House Hand is approaching us based on our reputation. We get the job done. Now, the messenger, this representative of sorts for this noble house, is providing just the basic details of the task at hand, but Barbok wants to know more. He wants to know what can he expect. Is the, let's say, is the messenger willing to convey more information? I'm going to say 50-50. He's not. Okay, so this will be our first roll for today. We do have the path contacts, so maybe once we leave, we can inquire about the details regarding this location. But I think Barbok wants to have some fun here and try to get some information out of the this individual he's talking to. So we're going to do our first roll today, and Silver Tongue is basically what we're going to use. There'll be 2 D6s as a boon. And the difficulty will be, I think normal is 3. So let's just do normal. So he's trying to get more information out of this individual. And the 6 is a success. So basically, the individual, this messenger, forgot to mention that this place is heavily guarded. And it is a fortified temple. So there is a large wall surrounding this temple, and there's only one way in and out of it. It's a large archway in the front that is heavily guarded. So there's a courtyard, and then there's this oddly shaped building in the middle. So it is a temple. Okay, so we have to get all the way over there, but remember, there's going to be a lot in the way here in between. So with that boon, we're able to get information that this area is heavily guarded. So Barbok understands and says it won't be a problem. And he requests half up front. Now, did the messenger expect this? Let's say 50-50. I don't know. Okay, he did inspect it. Almost stronger. He did expect this. So, is he willing to pay half up front? He was expecting it, which means he does have the money. He does have the gold up front. So 250 would be up front. Is he willing to pay? I'm going to say 25% chance. I don't think he does. Nope. Okay, well, it's typical practice for Barbok to get the money up front, the gold pieces up front. So he's going to have to use, again, Silver Tongue. He says he only does work for payment up front. So here we go. So I'm trying to convince the messenger to pay up front. And I'm sorry, the difficulty I completely forgot, but I'm going to say again, it's normal. So 3, 5 as success. He says fine. He's able to persuade him to pay up front. And that means basically we can erase the 250 here and we cut that in half up front. And the second 250 on the receiving end. So there we go. 250 up front, and then 250 at the end. There we go. All right, good. Now, he gives them a map of the temple and then a map of the area and explains to them how to get there. But basically, I'm thinking that Barbach knows this area pretty well. He's like, I know where this place is, but he still gives a map. So the map may or may not have any narrative and mechanical help in this, so we'll see. Map is there, though, if he needs it. All right, so he leaves the temple. The messenger leaves also and goes about his business. So we're basically at the intersection of this major path, and there are buildings surrounding the area. We'll draw some buildings here. Let's say this is probably a city, or a heavily populated area. There's probably going to be, as I said, this is a major settlement, or this is a major intersection. So there's probably several shops in the area, and Marbach is at this intersection. Now, it is going to be, I'm assuming, late hours, probably towards the late afternoon. So he has to find a way to get in between, find the best path into this temple. So he needs a vantage point. He needs to find an area that's nearby the temple, depending if there's a towering, if there's a building with multiple levels nearby. So if he needs to hop over or something, or he has to get some rope. So here's his idea. He's going to go to a vendor, a shop, and get some rope. So he does not have a rope, but he has a short bow. He wants to fire an arrow. His idea is he wants to enter through the side, fire an arrow, or get a grappling hook even. So let's say he's going to find a shop, and he knows where to go. Let's say it's just a little further down here. There's another shop that's just right here. So he walks down this cobblestone path, and I'm going to just kind of draw out a path here as he's walking. And he's not to scale. This is not how large he is. He could just step right over the temple and get what he needs, but he's not that much taller than myself. So he's at this store, and this will be location 2. And it's basically just a general store. Let's see if he's been here before. I'm going to say 90% chance he has. And oh my gosh, I had to ask. He has never been here before. Okay, so basically, here's how I'm perceiving that. Here is how I'm interpreting that. He has never been here before because this place just opened. It's a brand new shop. So he needs to basically establish dominance because this is his home. This is his area. He needs to get contacts where he can. So I'm going to continue this little path drawing here. This probably goes over here. And so he enters this general store. It's a brand new shop, probably opened a few days ago. And he walks up to the counter. And basically, the clerk says they're about to close. So make it quick. Like I said, it's late afternoon. So he's looking for let's see if they have a grappling hook. I'm going to say 25% chance they even have that kind of thing. 25 that they don't. Okay, so he asks if they have a rope. I'm going to say 75% chance they have a rope. They do. Okay, so he buys a rope. I don't really think that's going to put us in cash poor category. So I'm going to give him a 50-foot silk rope. Just something like that. Hamper or silk, it doesn't really matter. So he's able to get the rope he needs. Now, anything else he needs? He says, do you guys have a potion And the clerk is fed up. He says, "You're taking too long. We're closing." All right, we're gonna do another roll here. Silver tongue. We're gonna roll. He wants to know if they have a potion. He's also trying to understand their. He's also trying to get a feel for their store. So if he ever needs to come back. So we're gonna do a roll here to see if he can just get one more minute of this guy's time, and this will be his last thing he needs. So the difficulty will be, let's say 4, because this clerk is a little fed up or has to go. Oh, look at that. Success. Okay, so the bane did help. The boon, sorry, boon did help. I gotta get used to saying that. Boon, bane. The boon helped. And he says, yes, I have a potion, and it's a potion of healing. So he buys that. Potion of healing. Helps the potion of heal. Run out of space. Okay, and then the clerk says, please, I have to leave. Thank you for your business. And so our friend Barbach here leaves the store. Now, he needs to see a contact regarding uh, access to a certain building he's thinking about. Now, next door, there is indeed a building called Conveniento that is rather tall. Let's say it's about 2 or 3 stories high. So this would be location 3. And it's called, let's say, it's just a apartment building. It's just a living area. So I'll just put living area. It has multiple apartments, duplex, etc. And it's right next door. Let's say it's 3, 4 or so floors high. And he's going to basically find a way to get there and climb up. So let's say there is a ladder or something, a stairwell, emergency stairwell that's on the back side. But remember, there are guards here outside the main temple. Let's say it's a temple of Loon. Temple of Loon. Okay, so this living area is right next door. He's going to keep to the main path as the sun is setting. And let's say the path kind of turns this way. There's going to be another building here. And there's another building right here. Then on the left side, as he's walking down the middle here, there's, if you guys, again, sorry if you can't see it. You know what? Let me zoom in to see if that helps at all. Okay, just a little crop inward so you guys can see. Hopefully that helped a little bit. All right, so basically, there's going to be more buildings, shops that are on the way there. So this main path cuts around. There's a sharp turn. I'm not going to draw the entire city, just enough to get there, basically. There's a large courtyard. There's a big fountain here, let's say. Or it's a statue of someone. So let's do a little stick figure, little statue. It's like posing with a wolf. And then there's a path that goes into the temple. There's 2 guards. And the path continues on this way. There's a building here. And there'll be a building, some kind of post office here. And there you go. There's probably going to be a park. All right. I think that's really it. There's a fence here. I'll do a little lines to signify a fence. Okay, good. So we have the approach. Now, basically, he's going down and he is about halfway there, and now he's thinking of his approach because he can't just walk in. He's not exactly dressed as a commoner. He is wearing, again, he's wearing his robe, cloak outfit, kind of outfit, and trying to consider anything about his aspects, which really wouldn't really kick in right now. I keep forgetting he's a human lie detector, so he's really good at telling people are lying to him, which we haven't really haven't had an incident to use that path, that inclination. Sorry, that aspect. So, uh, let's see what to do here. There's going to be 2 individuals. Let me get some dice. I'm going to use some dice that will basically be used for enemies. So here we go. There are 2 guards, and there's probably going to be 6 in the general area of the temple outside, walking, patrolling the main grounds. So he's going to avoid the site and go through the back alleyways. Let's say there's another building here. So he's going to go through this little alleyway, approach this main path to the apartment he wants to get on top of. I'll just do another building to the side here. It's not too important right now. There's a fence. So he's going to be just peeking around the corner right here. And he's meeting with a resource. This is where we roll contact. So once per session, he's going to have, it's basically, think of it like a Johnny or something, a character named Johnny that knows this area. It's a kid. It's just that this kid he's a like a newspaper boy kind of role character, but he basically sees everything. He's been everywhere, and he tips Barbok. He slips by and tips Barbok, saying that the guards are almost about to change shifts. So that'll be his opportunity to basically run by here without being seen. So that's the pre-success that we have. The information that Barbok needs to wait another few more minutes before the guards change, and then, as I said, they will change like that, and Barbok is going to run across the path here. It's nighttime almost. Let's say the sun just set after everything we've done, and he got to this fence, this wall, and so we need to roll to see if he can scale that wall. It's probably at 5 to 6 feet high, and because Barbok is a scoundrel, he has experience in this field. I'm going to include this as a Shadow Walker boom. So the difficulty to scale is, I'm going to say it's just a 3. It probably is a wooden fence, so you can probably grab onto something. Here we go. 3 or higher. Oh, okay, success. He jumps up, scales the fence, and now he's on the backside. And let's say there's actually a cliff to the ocean right behind. So this is kind of on the edge of the city. So he's on the backside, and he's approaching, he's peeking around the corner. Now, most likely there's going to be people, patrolmen, keeping an eye on the back cliffside of the temple. I'm going to ask the Oracle, is there going to be anyone patrolling? 75% chance. Yep, there is. Oh, wait, that's a sure no. Oh, that's a 60. My apologies. Yes, there is. There is actually going to be some patrolmen. And with that guess being kind of weak, I'm going to give one individual standing right here that's walking, let's say he's walking, is he walking towards our direction? 50-50. So, oh, he is about to turn around. So he is actually walking this way, and he's about to turn around this way. So he kind of goes back and forth like this to patrol the area. Again, this Temple of Loom is very, not heavily guarded. It's guarded on a regular basis. So, this will be dependent on our character if he prefers to stay in the shadows or he has to take him out and shoot an arrow, let him fall off the side of the cliff. Barbok, I haven't really, explained his backstory or who he is, how does he act if he's chaotic, or if he's lawful. I'm going to say he's fairly neutral as a character. Probably neutral. He doesn't mind if he has to take people out, has to eliminate any targets, but I don't think he's really going to take this person out because he's not really necessarily a threat. He's a bother, he's an inconvenience, he's in the way. So this guy's walking back and he's just peeking around the corner. So as he's walking, he makes a left here and he's in this alleyway. Barbok is calculating his timing and his footing needed to run and basically find a spot to scale up the apartment because there's a ladder, there's a pipe, there's a lead pipe that basically Barbok can climb up. And so the guard is going to now go back this way, and that's where Barbok is going to scale the pipe. The building. This will be basically Shadow Walker once again. Trying to consider my other aspects we have, and there's nothing really here. So we're rolling. This will probably be difficult. So let's say 4. Look at that. We have success on both of them, but it's still just the highest of the two. So he's able to scale up on top of the apartment, and the guard is just doing his thing. So now he's on top of this building, and he's slowly crouched and looking over to see if there's any way he can either hop over or shoot an arrow with the rope. So he's considering both potential options to get inside the temple. And so, uh, the guards, there's about 6 individuals patrolling around the entire grounds of the temple, which is, again, this oddly shaped figure. And they're kind of scaling. I'm saying the grounds are basically these areas here, just grass. There's a pathway, like so. Lawn. It's basically very, very nice looking lawn work. There's trees and plants, so it's within the fortified wall. So, again, the package, I forgot to mention, or I forgot to ask, the package is at a top, it's in the highest point room of the temple, the top floor, some kind of attic that the messenger told us. So the package is going to be top floor, like I would say an attic. Just writing that down here for myself. Forgot to mention that. At least I forgot to um, consider it as a question to ask the messenger, like, where is the package? Now, would the messenger actually know that? The package is in the temple, they know that, but do they actually know? Does our character know this? So I'd say this is probably a GM note, more than anything. So probably giving us some spoiler information there. But does our character know there's a messenger involved? I'm going to say, let's step back here and consider the implications. The 25% chance the messenger even knew that. Nope, they didn't. Okay, which means we don't know that. So we just know the package is in the temple. So the package is at the top floor attic of the temple. That information's for us, the GM, and the audience, you guys. So he's doing the mouth right now. This guy is back patrolling. He hides a bit, and then he goes back again. And so he's figuring out if he can't jump. There's a thin wall, a tall wall, but he can fire an arrow. It's nighttime, so there's really not much light source besides torches being wielded by. This is Middle Ages, before power was discovered, electricity. So basically, all these guards have torches. All these temple, this personnel has torches, and there's probably sconces or something with torches on the sides. But a firing rope can probably be feasible, doable. So that's what he'll do. He can't scale it and jump it because they'll get discovered. So there's basically a window that doesn't have glass. It's just an open window. He does not see anything inside. So he's fire an arrow into it and try to scale it, tying the rope to something on top of the apartment, and then shooting the rope, tying the rope to the arrow, shooting across the way into the temple. So this will be probably pretty difficult. I'm gonna say 5 here. So this might be also a good point to use our hero karma points coming up. So here we go. Difficulty 5. I'm gonna say it's pretty difficult. It's maybe 50 yards away. But I'm using Shadow Walker. Actually, I really don't think that would qualify. So this would be a single die. So 5 or higher. Here we go. 4. Okay, so I'm going to use a karma point to bump that up to a success of 5. He's able to fire the arrow and land it into the, well, let's say that the arrow has a iron tip, a metal tip. And I mean, how detailed we have to be to figure out if it like hits into the wall. Let's say it hits into the wall right above the window. Whether the wall is wood or rock, it just hits perfectly into a crevice to land perfectly. And so he pulls the rope a little bit, and it seems it could probably hold him. He's pulling this with some force, and it holds. So he ties it to something on the top of the apartment complex, the building, and he's now going to scale it, basically like Ethan Hunt, and make his way across, crawling it. This will be Shadow Walker. So we're rolling with a 4 or higher if he can do this stunt. So here we go. We're rolling with this. I'm going to say 4 or higher. Oh, nice, matches. Okay, so 5 is our roll. He's able to get on top of the temple. He's on the top floor, and let's say he's reached the balcony. And he's looking around. The guards are still wandering. They didn't see him because we didn't fail the roll. So he's going to look through before he looks through the window. He's on some kind of balcony surrounding the top of the pillar or the top of the temple. He looks inside the window, and it's basically a storage room. There's an open window. There's no one in there, and he jumps inside. So he's looking around inside the temple, and he's trying to figure out if this box is in here. Now, I'm going to assume narratively that the messenger, the client who gave us this mission, detailed what the box looks like. It's probably just a little box wrapped in burlap with a rope tied to it. So pretty simple. He's looking around, and does he find it in here? Let's ask the Oracle. Is it in here? I'm going to say 50-50. I don't know. It is. Oh, it is in here. Okay, so it is in here. And we're going to roll to see if we can find it. So let's say, is this really worth a roll? I'm going to let him find it eventually, but let's say, this is worth a roll. That's the question for the Oracle here. I don't think it will be. Okay, so he finds a box, but it's just too easy. So it's in. He doesn't find the actual box. Is the box in a safe? Let's figure this out. In a locked case. 80% chance it is. Yep, it is. Okay. It is in a locked case and does not have lockpicks. I did not write that down. I can assume he has lockpicks if this was abstract like Iron Sword. He might just have lockpicks on him, but he does not have lockpicks on him. Maybe he does? I can say he does, but the lock, you know what? Heck, I'll just give it to him. It makes sense. A character like him would have lockpicks. So let's see if he needs to pick the lock here. Pickpocket. I'm going to say this definitely is in his department, his specialty. So we'll roll 2, but the lock is actually very difficult. So let's say it's 5. He's intended to pick the lock. It's the most nicest looking crate, lock case in the room. In the room. So here we go. Because he can't find what the messenger told him, can't find the physical little box. It's most likely in this crate. So let's roll for it. We need to do 5 or more. Oh, look at that. Okay, some pretty good rolls today, actually. Most of them have been successful, besides the Karma edition. All right. He picks the lock opens, and as he opens it, there is actually items inside surrounding the box. The box is there, but it's kind of off to the side. Let's say it has, I'm thinking feathers for some reason. Maybe it's a collection of feathers. There is some documents. There's a pamphlet. There is a vial that's empty. Random things, random sort of things. This box is there. So he takes the box, and now I'm going to call it the quest item. So quest box. There we go. Yeah, I actually feel like taking the vial too. It's empty though. There's nothing in it. And then the scroll, there is actually a scroll in there. So he takes, it's sealed. So sealed scroll. There we go. That's all really that he takes notice, and then he puts the box in his pouch, and he needs to get out of there. So as he goes up to the rope, let's see, the rope is still attached. I'm going to say that something probably happened. So 50% chance. Is the rope still attached? Nope. Okay, so here's what happened. There is an owl sitting on the rope. It's just kind of sitting there halfway down. Now, this very bright white feathered owl is hooting, and it turns its head to as Barbach is standing outside the window looking out. He sees the owl and he kind of freaks out himself. The owl is not flying off. He tries to shake the rope to shoo the owl away, but it's not moving. It's looking for Harry Potter, obviously. And this can garner attention from the guards. If they see this owl just sitting in midair on a rope, because this bright white feathered owl might cause a problem. So he's trying to shoo the wolf, the owl away, which will require a roll. This will just be the owl is being stubborn. I'm just going to say 5. Yes, we are actually literally rolling to see if he can shoo away this owl before he gets noticed. 5 is what we need. There we go. 2. Okay. I'm going to spend, let's see, I needed 3, 4, 5. That's 3. So 4, 3, 2. That is down to 2 karma points, and that owl is able to get shooed away, and the rope is now accessible. Okay, so now we need to roll for him to climb back, because he has something on him. He has some inventory added to it, to his weight. I'm going to make this a, if I recall correctly, I did a 5 last time, or 4 last time. So he's going to basically do the Ethan Hunt in Mission Possible and go back to this other building rooftop. So we're in between, and we're rolling to see if it's the Shadow Weaver, which will be Walker. Sorry, Shadow Walker. This will be a boon. He needs 5, I'm going to say 5 or more. Okay, so we're going to spend another karma point. We're down to 1 to increase this to a 5. He's able to get back over here and to this roof. So now the problem is the rope is still there. So he has to carefully pull the rope as strong as he can and wrap it back to himself, bring it back to him. So it will fall on the ground. It will basically crawl or be pulled onto the floor over the ledge. So he has to basically do this, time it perfectly. This guard comes back and he has to hide. So he was about to, but the guard is walking back here and he has to quickly hide. So rolling for a 4 or more. Oh, wow, nice. 2 6s. Okay. He easily evades being seen, and the guard is going back to his other side. Now, the other guards in the middle, are there any that will be in the way of the rope? This most likely will be timing. I'm going to say 75% chance. Oh, strong, yes. Okay, so there are some guards that are actually, let's say there are 4 guards right here, and then the remaining 2 are on this side of the temple's grounds. So these 4 are talking, and they're in the way of the actual rope. Well, here's the problem. Here's the possibility. He can just keep the rope there. It's nighttime, they won't see it. It's pretty high up. So they will probably see in the morning and figure out something got stolen. But I don't think Barbach wants to leave any evidence behind. He doesn't want to rouse suspicion for the temple's loom's occupants, whoever it is, to find out that the house of the Crimson Hand is most likely going to be the suspects of the crime. So he needs to find a way to pull that rope. Well, he has to camp it out for a little bit. So he's going to sit down and wait and peek over again, let's say 15 minutes later. Did those guards disperse? I don't know, 50-50. They did not, but because it's a slightly weak yes, I'm going to say there's 2 here, the other 4 are back here. And he's like, come on, hurry up. This guy comes back. He goes back again. Another 15 minutes pass. I'm going to say, yes, the guards finally left the area, or at least between patrols, and there's going to be 6 in another part of the temple grounds. Not specifically on the side, but they're not in the way. All right, so we need to roll to see if he uses strength, which he's not the strongest character alive, but pull. There's no bane I can use here, or no boon. And he's going to try to pull as hard as he can to untie, to pull the rope back. So we don't know if the arrow will still be stuck in the wall or it'll come off with the pull. So here we go. This will be 5. Okay, I don't have any more karma points. I can spend it, but I can use my hero die. So let's use my hero die to see if this will work. Here we go. Rolling once more for 5 or more. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this works. So the 5, we'll bump it up to a 5 using my last karma point. Thus, we lose our karma for now. And basically, He pulls the rope off. The arrow dings as it hits the ground, but luckily it doesn't attract any attention. He pulls it slowly. It gets pulled up the fortress wall, over, goes between the alleyway, and he pulls up the apartment and pulls it back. So, uh, but that ding noise and the original failure did cause some attention. However, it pulled one person off. One person walks over here. One patrolman looks around and doesn't see anything. Meanwhile, our guy Barbach scales down. Well, he's about to scale down, and this guy is coming back. So we got to roll to see if he can scale down in time to get back behind here of this complex. So we're rolling with Shadow Walker, and I'm going to say difficulty 5. Okay, we're able to do so. He scales down the pipe once more and gets behind the wall here as this patrolman stops. He hears a noise. He's going to expect it now. Barbach is quickly walking over, and while this patrolman, he doesn't know the patrolman's coming. So this guy stops here, looks around for the noise, like, what was that? Taking Skyrim NPC jokes. Meanwhile, Barbach needs to jump over the wall, or he could continue on, but he doesn't want to continue this way because the guard is going to he's going to see him. He has to scale this wall, which I think was 4. So once again, with the boon, the 4 is successful. He jumps over the wall, and now he's hiding here. The guard continues on. He looks down the alley, doesn't see anybody. He doesn't see anyone this way, and says, huh, it must have been the wind. And now he's back to his patrol. So, we got the package in hand. We're in the open, or at least we're back on the public streets. It's nighttime, and we need to roll to see if he can get back to his alley here to basically walk without causing any suspicion. There's not many people around. And if the guards who are here see Barbach walking out in the open with a cloak on, it's going to arouse suspicion. So we're rolling with Shadow Walker. That's another boon. 5, I'll take that. For the difficulty, I'm thinking probably 4 or 5, but he's successful. All right, so he gets back here. He's walking down. He's walking down back to the tavern where the messenger is waiting. And he gets back inside. And is the recipient there? Let's roll. I'm going to say 75% chance. Oh, yes, he is. He actually is about to enter, or he is about to leave. He's a strong yes, but he was about to walk out for smoke or something, and Barbach catches him. So he is surprised to see Barbach back so soon. They sit down, and he shows them the package. He smiles, and as promised, Barbach gets the other 250. Job well done. The messenger says that he says he's not surprised that the word matches his reputation, so now he's wealthy. It bumps him up 1 wealth level. And so the messenger stands up, shakes his hand, and says, we'll keep in touch. And thanks for the package. The messenger also says, did you find anything else? Barbach lies. He says, nope, it was just the box. And the man smiles or smirks, and he says, yes, of course. And he turns around and leaves the tavern, thus concluding this relatively simple quest. But again, this was more so a test. Definitely a lot more rolls this time, and this time we had a map and a layout with some adversaries, some potential conflict. No encounters. My last test video I did have encounters, but this time it was just more of a sneaking around and stealing something. So there you go. That's really it for this one shot. I will have a title for this when I post it, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.